Colorism accounts for why some opportunities are afforded to people who look a certain way in the U.S. Mikhail Lubansky is an associate professor in the Department of Psychology at the University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. He teaches psychology of race and ethnicity and specializes in race relations and restorative justice. He spoke about colorism, how it came to be, how it affects us, and what we should be doing about it.
Ideas about lighter skin having more beauty, having more value, having more, being advantageous, right? Those ideas in those communities are inherent from sort of dominant white supremacist values.
Lubansky discussed an activity he does with his class that questions how we feel about identity. It involves a duck that is trapped inside of a chicken's body.
And so the chicken got really great plastic surgery until it looked exactly like a duck. And it got occupational therapy until it was able to waddle exactly like a duck. And it got speech therapy until lots of resources to do all this, right? It was a well-resourced chicken until it was able to talk exactly like a duck. So at the end, what everybody was looking at was a duck that could act entirely as a duck acts. And I would ask students, what animal do you think this is? And everybody would say chicken, because they were familiar with the history.
As a tall, fair-skinned Mexican-American, Jose de la Garza sees this conflict when he meets new people. Jose is a postdoctoral research assistant in the Latina Studies Department at the University of Illinois.
Almost 1 out of 5 times that I say to someone, right, like, oh, hi, my name's Jose, they're like, that's strange, right? Because, you don't look how we imagine a Mexican to look like, right? And then I'm like, no, I'm Mexican. They're like, oh, so your dad's Mexican and your mom's white. So like, they're trying to figure, right? People even just seeing a person are trying to figure out, where can we place whiteness here?
De la Garza says certain physical attributes elicit certain expectations. The reality of colorism is that the lighter your skin, the less hardships you may face.
And growing up, that was a thing for me, right? That I had cousins who, weren't light-skinned, quote unquote, and the kind of trajectory that, not the trajectory that our lives followed, but like what people were encouraging us to do was very different, right? They were definitely pushing me and some of my other cousins to like go to school, like you need to go to college, do this. Whereas other cousins, like if they didn't follow that trajectory, they're like, it's fine, it made sense oddly.
To navigate in this world is easier if your skin is lighter.
Given this problem, Lubansky talks about ways we can change our perceptions of colorism as a society.
What I understood was the importance of seeing race and the importance of being willing to see it, to name it, to bring it into the open instead of letting it operate, because it most certainly is operating, implicitly and sort of. Just because it's not being spoken doesn't mean that it's not having an effect, right? So what seemed to me to be particularly useful and essential is to bring it into the room where at least it could be acknowledged.
De la Garza would echo those sentiments.
When we forget about what differences we're dealing with, like it's just erasing the problems that we're having as opposed to critiquing them, right?